Hi everybody, TJ Mac Vintage Cards here, and today I'm doing a video response to Shane, Shoebox Legends. First, just want to say I really enjoy Shane's channel. He collects modern and vintage baseball cards, as well as hockey. I know he's got a lot of different collecting interests within those realms. I know he does a little bit of football too, but I just like his videos a lot. I like his approach to doing videos, just the ease that he does them, and kind of really connects with his cards and either the history of the cards or just current players he likes. He's got a real sincere approach to it, which I really appreciate as well, and just have a lot of enjoyment watching his videos and commenting back and forth with him. So I wanted to do this for him and recognize his channel, and he's kind of like me, that he just really likes making the videos and connecting with other YouTubers the most. So I have a lot of respect for that. So the card I picked today is a 64 Topps Kaline, and the reason why I picked this card is this is the first graded card I had ever bought when I got back into collecting in 2000. My initial intent when I got into collecting, I knew nothing about grading. I bought two display cases to put in my basement to put various cards in of players that I liked, and I was buying them raw, not graded, because I didn't know anything about grading. And what happened was I started buying them, and then when I was putting them in the holders, I had some holders that had a pre-cut card size in them. And I bought a 68 Topps Willie Mays, not this exact one, but a different one. And when I went to put it in its pre-cut slot, there was room there. It was shifting around, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is this card moving? And I learned about trimming that day. Somebody trimmed the card, and it was less than the size the card should be because someone cut the edge on it right along this side, I believe, here on the right side of the card. So I was just like, wow. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to collect. I'm not shrewd enough to know this kind of stuff. I'm just buying on eBay, and I just want to put a collection together. So I started looking around a little bit more and thinking about how I wanted to go about it. And I started learning about grading, and I'm like, maybe I need to do this. So I, kept those two cases. I had other cards to put in them. And then I bought a 55 card case to put in the room, and I started putting graded cards in them, just players I liked. And the first one I ever bought was this 64 Topps Kaline, and I found it on eBay. I think I paid like $20 or something for it back then, and I was thrilled with it. Why I picked Kaline first, I don't really know. He's a player that I've liked. I've told you in other videos that my dad liked him, and I like the portrait of him on the 64 Topps card, like the red coloring and all that. I just think it works well on the card, and I said, oh, they have this one in my collection. So this was the first one I bought, and 21 years later, I'm still buying graded cards. And it's just been a great way of collecting for me. I really enjoy being able to display them, and just enjoy having them in my room, and they're easy for me to store. They're easy to organize, and I'm also able to get some great players and build curate, I like to say, a nice collection that I can just have for a lifetime. And either, as I said many times, my children can do something with them, either keep them or sell them or do whatever they need to do with them when I'm no longer here. But that's why I've gone that route, and I've never looked back, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So thanks, Shane, for putting this together so I could put this card out there. The other thing he asked us to do is to talk about an item that is special to us. It's not a card. And I talked about this item a while back, early on in my videos, and I didn't, it was when I didn't have a lot of subscribers, so I want to talk about this again. This is Archie Wilson. He is a relative through marriage of my wife's family, and he played for the New York Yankees in 51. He was in spring training for them, didn't end up making the team, and then in 52 he did play, I think, a few games on the team, but then he went to the Washington Senators and then later into the Red Sox. He had a very short major league career. He was MVP of the International League, AAA, for the Buffalo Bisons. So he was a good player, just not a major league player for that long. But what's really cool about him is that in 1951, his roommate was Mickey Mantle. And when he went into the room on spring training, Mickey Mantle was on one of the, I think, only two beds in the room, and they slept three to a room, and there was a cot. And when he walked in, Mantle was on the bed, and he said to him, "Oh, Mr. Wilson, you can have the bed. I'll sleep on the cot." And Mickey was only probably about 19, 20 years old at the time, and Archie Wilson was probably 23, 24 years old, and just Mickey had respect for him. Well, Archie said in an interview that was published that he saw Mantle hit that day, and he was putting balls through the fence, over the fence, and he said after that, he goes, he thought Mantle could sleep anywhere he wants. That's the kind of player he was. And in the book, The Last Boy by Jane Levy, his wife Sybil comments on how when Mickey Mantle was a rookie and he was going to succeed Joe DiMaggio, he was getting so much media attention and he was so shy that he would hide behind Archie in the lobby at hotels and things like that because he was just afraid of the media attention. So that was a cool reference as well. So Archie would visit with my wife's dad and his brother, which would be my wife's uncle, when they were kids in the neighborhood, and then he would throw balls around with them and things like that. And when the Yankees were spring training in 1952, my wife, dad, my father-in-law, and my wife's uncle wrote letters to Archie asking for signatures from the Yankees. So here's one of the responses he got back. The Sereno Hotel is where the New York Yankees spring trained back then. And it says, Dear Glenn and Jack, thanks for your letter and interest. No, I do not have the pictures that is in the magazine. Rather, Sybil has it. Here's your autographs, Glenn. And this is my wife's uncle. They should be like your brothers, maybe a little different, but not much. Some of the guys aren't around all the time. Thanks again. Sincerely, Archie Wilson. Don't tell your pals about this autograph business as it's difficult to get all the signatures. Okay? So here's the letter that was sent. It was postmarked March 26, 1952. These were all kept in a safe for years, so these documents are immaculate. Only the letter has a little yellowing on it. These signatures look like they were signed yesterday. And again, Provenance here with the Sereno Hotel. Here's the different signatures. There's Johnny Mize. There's Mickey Mantle. That's not a clubhouse signature. That's a very early signature of Mantle there. 100% authentic, beautiful. Jackie Jensen, Yogi Berra, Johnny Sain played for the Yankees then. There's Casey Stengel, Phil Rizzuto, future manager Ralph Houck. The only signatures I know that are not on here, the team trainers on here as well, is Bill Dickey and Billy Martin are two notables that are not on here. Whitey Ford was not on the team at the time. He was in the military. There's Bob Serve. So what I did is I framed this. There's the 52 World Series patch. It's a replica patch. And then this is the patch they wore in 52 for the 50th year. And being this was from 1952, these would be the patches and the pictures from the World Series team from that year that I put in this frame. Archie's not in the 52 World Series picture because he wasn't on the team then. So what I decided to do was to get a picture of him up here. And this postcard was postmarked, if you would open this up and flip the card over, the same week that this envelope was postmarked. I think it's either the same week or within 2 weeks time. So I think that's a really cool connection. I didn't have an easy time finding this because there's not many pictures of him on the Yankees. He wasn't on it very long. And so I just wanted to share this with everybody because this is just one of those real special pieces in my collection that our family gets to enjoy, and an heirloom type piece that we can pass on. So I know I showed this in an earlier video, but I've got a lot more subscribers since then, and I thought people might be interested in seeing it because it is a special and unique type piece and tells about a little bit about the family and also our love for the Yankees on both sides of the family. Have a great day.